fan of affordable properties. I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of between about 300,000 and 500,000 in that range. If I go above 500,000, it would typically be a dual income property. So two incomes in one property, a little duplex or a little house with a granny flat structure or something like that, which would allow me to consider going above. But the majority of properties are, sort of in those 3s and 400,000s. So in this case, we're going to use 395,000. 395,000 is a price point that you may determine you want to purchase, and you may have 3 houses in a row. This one looks as cute as a button. White picket fence, looks great. Built in 1982. Unfortunately, on that property, the depreciation allowance is 0. So whatever the negative cash flow is on it, it's all out of your pocket. There's no help with regards to monopoly money, depreciation schedules you can use to help you get back some tax money, all right? The second one is built in 2005, and to the untrained eye, you can look at that property and go, that's basically new. 2005, that's basically a new house, right? Depreciation allowance on this particular property, about $1,735 for the year, okay? For me, that's nowhere near enough to justify if this was part of what you were looking to do, if this was part of your model, right? The third property right beside it is brand new and being handed over today. It's built in 2015, and it's got about $11,500 of depreciation allowance. $11,500 of depreciation allowance. Now, the reality is that $11,500 that's the attractive part to me doing this process. All right, but it's only part of it. Okay, what I pay for the property, how much rent's coming in. There's a number of things that need to be considered in this as well. I certainly would be avoiding high body corporate fees and different things that happen in different property types as well. But this is a big part of the formula that you guys want to know about and make sure you use to your advantage, particularly if you're in a situation where you go, look, I just want to add 1 or 2 investment properties. I don't want to use any money out of my pocket. I just want to offset my tax. I want it to be set and forget. I just want to have a sleep at night, easy investment portfolio. And that's honestly 50+% of the properties that happen through the community buys at the back of this are just those sorts of investors. They're not looking to have a dozen, 20 properties. They're just saying, look, 3 or 4 investment properties that I never really need to pay for. They just get paid for by my tax or my super. That's great, as long as I've got a nice, simple, basic formula, right? So depreciation fits very nicely for those sorts of investors, which is why it's great to have as your first foundation. If you're paying tax, please consider this. You would need a quantity surveyor's report for each of the properties. They will write off the building component, the building structure, over a 40-year period. Then they'll also give you an allowance, which is on fixtures and fittings, which will depreciate much quicker over that first 10 years. All right? Now, it's ideal when you run a spreadsheet, because as the rents go up over a 10-year period, even though your depreciation is coming down, it allows you to stay in a cash flow positive scenario in most cases, if you're doing this in the right way and you're projecting it all out and understanding your portfolio, which allows you to be able to set into your portfolio the right properties to match the timeline you want to own properties for and how much tax you're paying and so forth. So you would need a quantity surveyor's report. I would also encourage everyone to have a tax variation lodged, so that if you can get a certain amount of money back at the end of the year from your depreciation, in that one we're talking about $11,500 worth of depreciation, whatever the money you can get back by putting in a tax variation that would allow that money to be put in your wage each week or each fortnight, however you're paid, it will come into your pay packet. So if instead of taking home $800, you might take home $930, all right? And that would be your tax getting put back into your pocket via a tax variation, all right? We do this all of the time.